Welcome to Engagement Fundraising, where you'll learn how busy fundraisers like you are generating more major and planned gifts at lower costs. Brought to you by iMarketSmart.com, the software and services company that helps nonprofits raise more money more efficiently.
Also, through the cultivation process, if it's done right and it's highly relevant and highly personalized, this will help the donor get over the chasm, get over the valley and the river of distrust. So this is very important. Most people don't trust anybody. And why should they?
Hi there, I'm Tim Chen, Marketing Solutionist at MarketSmart. On today's episode, I finished the discussion Greg and I started last week on building out a strong fundraising caseload. Make sure to listen to last week's episode to get the full picture of what we are talking about on today's episode. Not sure how to build an effective caseload or what engagement fundraising is? Well, you will soon.
We got to talk about how you get the verbatims and the digital body language.
Yeah.
Okay? So the number one best way to do it, and this will sound like a broken record if you've listened to the other podcasts. What is it? Drum roll.
Donor surveys.
Donor surveys, right? Why? So here's how they work. First of all, they're an unbelievable qualifier. Let me take a sideways turn here for just a second, right? So what you get from wealth screening and predictive modeling is you look at past behavior and you look at wealth and capacity. And you may even find with some wealth screening kind of firms, you may even find if they've given to other organizations. But that doesn't mean they're going to give to you. And it doesn't mean they want to have a relationship with you as an individual. It doesn't mean that they necessarily belong on your qualified donor list.
Survey will help determine that.
Right, because here's
they'll
why.
self-identify just by filling out the survey.
Well, yeah. If they take the survey, look at that. Now they're giving you not money, they're giving you their time and their feedback. Powerful stuff. But by also lending that to you, giving that to you, that's a gift, by the way. They are going to self-qualify their interests, their passions, their desires, their consideration stage. You don't have to rely on some score at the identification stage because now the donor verbatim told you, I would like to talk to you right now. Some of our customers, that their donors get the survey and then actually call them up to, instead of filling it out, they're like, here, let me just tell you all this stuff. And then, in fact, one of them from a very big organization ended up closing a $50,000 gift on the phone.
That's pretty great.
Which happens.
Yeah. The
And
donor
Contacting you instead of the other way around. That's remarkable.
Especially because some of the questions are with regard to giving. How would you like to give? Would you like to consider giving appreciated assets? Well, what happened was the donor got to that question and said, you know what? I actually hadn't thought about that. I usually write you guys checks, but this, that, the other thing. And that way I don't have to pay taxes on that. And, and then, so there goes the conversation. And then I think what he did was he gave him stock. He gave him his appreciated stock, $50,000 worth.
Yeah, not bad. Bad for a couple-minute phone call.
Yeah. But what triggered it? The qualification stage that leveraged technology. And you can include print as technology,
Yeah.
A lot of people forget about print. I love print.
Yeah.
Mail.
It's amazing technology.
Printing changed the world.
It did.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, before the internet, there was no greater invention, technological innovation than print.
Yeah, it was huge.
It changed the world.
Books,
What did they do? They printed that thing. What's it called? Oh, the Bible.
Yeah. Pretty big book, yeah.
Yeah. That's why it really took
off, yeah.
They were, yeah. So, no, printing is technology, by the way. Okay.
Definitely.
But you got to leverage this to help you qualify people. And then if you're doing it digitally, you can, through our technology, drop a cookie on their browser so that then as they're engaging with your organization going forward, you know what they're clicking on. Just showing this to a potential customer yesterday. We went through the whole donor journey. We're monitoring the donor journey. We can see it happening by dates and where they're clicking. And then after a year and a half, I showed them, I said, see, and then A year and a half later, he clicked and he downloaded this beneficiary designation information, and then he went to the bequest language, and it looks like he clicked here because he forwarded it to somebody. I don't know if that was his grandma or his attorney, but I bet it was his attorney. And then about 3 months later, he clicked on this because we had a follow-up survey, and he said, I finalized my legacy gift. It's done.
That's really cool.
And we even show it in our dashboard. We show the donor journey and the consideration stages, and we show you that they're changing from not considering to might consider to considering to it's done. So in many ways, the technology will actually do the job for the fundraiser, but not in all circumstances. I mean, let's face it, the biggest, most impactful gifts need a facilitator, and that's why you got to qualify them. The ones that don't want to talk to you will move themselves through the consideration process if they're cultivated properly using our automation or any other kind of cultivation. If you have time on your hands and can do it yourself, send little pictures of the kids that get, the meals and this and that. And if you have time for that, knock yourself out. But if you don't have time for it, you better automate it. Otherwise, the trick is to track people through the donor journey to understand when they are ready for your outreach. Now I'm going on I'm going. Ready? Don't stop me.
Don't stop.
Because here's the thing about qualification and about outreach to call a donor. You ready for this? This is magical.
I love it.
Good. The real trick to getting a donor to talk to you and visit with you is based on the recency of their engagement. It's not based on any other score. It's not based on even our score. And we've got a cruel, it's not a cruel algorithm. It's a cool algorithm. We got a great algorithm.
Yeah.
Right? It's an amazing algorithm. But the best indicator of likelihood that someone will pick up the phone and talk to you and meet with you is based on the recency of their engagement. And that's why we show our customers whether someone's red hot, indicated by our little red circle, or orange or yellow or cooling off to blue.
Because very recent that you're in their mind. They're thinking about you. And if you call them at the time, they'll be like, I was just on your site looking at that stuff. I'd love to talk to you about what I saw.
Strike when the iron is hot. I always say this is the key. There's 6 million keys, right? But this is a very important one, is that everybody's running around looking at algorithms and stuff and scores. And the truth is, it's a matter of whether they recently engaged. Did they visit your school? Were they on campus last weekend? That's going to be a pretty important piece of information, but you generally don't know that. You'll be more likely to know, were they on your website? Did they watch a video of scholarship recipients? Okay? That tugged at their heartstring. If that happened 10 minutes ago, and then you called, they'd be likely to take your call. And I know people will say, well, that seems kind of abrupt and pushy. And no, it's not.
Something just crossed my mind. Do fundraisers, do they talk with the athletics and get information when alumni buy tickets? Is that something that's happening, you think?
Maybe.
Because that would be a recency thing there.
It would be good.
That'd be good.
It would be good if fundraisers knew exactly when a donation was made and received, so they could very promptly call the donor to thank them. That's one of the things we'll be tying in to our system from the fundraising report card. But oops, I shouldn't have let that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So did you get that?
I got that,
We went through qualification. We talked about the survey as being a vital tool for that, but then to monitor the donor journey, you've got to have cookie-based tracking, and you've got to have a reporting system so that you can see when they are hot. There's also other qualifiers, though, that frankly you can get from verbatims that you just can't buy anywhere. So
these are things like if they have kids or things like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, is there an absence of children? No children. Okay. So now, look, you can find out if there's no children in the household, but you can't find out unless you essentially work with us, whether or not they ever had children. That's kind of important because people who don't have children tend to give more.
Yeah, because they don't have a hair.
Where else are they going to give it?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I know. I'll give it to the government.
Sure,
that'll be fun. No. And then the donor advised funds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who has that?
And
who has a family?
You can ask in these surveys for this
and
stuff.
You can ask. It's amazing what people will tell you. They'll tell you if they have a family foundation. They'll tell you about their passion for the organization that you may not even get when you're face to face with them. They'll pour their hearts out. It's amazing what people will type.
Yeah.
So you got to give them that opportunity, and then that helps. I think your question, if I remember, it was something about the numbers game. Maybe that was even 15 minutes ago. But this helps you funnel the sieve, whatever you want to call it, to determine who is truly qualified to be on your caseload and who's most likely to accept your outreach because they are interested in having a one-to-one relationship with a human being. It helps you develop buckets, so to speak, to put people in so that you can communicate with them relevantly for your cultivation stage.
Learn about a free resource available from us here at iMarketSmart.com in this quick break. This week, I want to encourage everyone to download MarketSmart's ultimate how-to guide for conducting nonprofit donor surveys found at www.imarketsmart.com/survey report. This free report will help you build your caseloads by showing you why surveys uncover who has wealth and capacity, why surveys tell you who really cares about your mission, and show you how to update your donor records to clean up your database. Plus, you'll learn how to save time and improve your efficiency, inspire supporters to give more, and much, much more. Get your copy for free by going to iMarketSmart.com/survey report. That's www.iMarketSmart.com/survey report. With that, let's get back to the episode.
The trick to cultivation is to be highly relevant and personalized.
So you can read through these paragraph-long responses, see where their heart is, and develop different cultivation content for those different buckets of people.
Yeah, because we talked about this earlier, is that people will not pay attention to things that are irrelevant. So relevance and personalization is the key to cultivation if you want to maintain their attention. Otherwise, they're going to look at it and say, this is not for me. But if it is for them, they'll be very appreciative that you actually are paying attention, and they'll look at you and say, well, wow, this organization and this person are really standing out. They are, with the law of reciprocity, they are showing that they care about me. So in turn, I will care more about them. Also, through the cultivation process, if it's done right, and it's highly relevant and highly personalized, this will help the donor get over the chasm, get over the valley and the river of distrust. So this is very important. Most people don't trust anybody. And why should they? Right?
Everyone's after everyone else, right? They're after your stuff.
Yeah, everybody's after you, and especially if you're a person of means,
Especially after you.
they're after your money.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? So if your donor knows that, and they've already gotten tons of solicitations and oversized envelopes asking them for $5,000, or they get requests on LinkedIn and however else, and they get cold calls and everything, they know how to spot someone who doesn't really care about them. But if they're going to want a partner to facilitate their search for meaning in their life and how they want to make an impact in this world through giving, they want it to be someone that they have trust in and have confidence in that they and their organization can do the job. The only way to build that trust and get over the chasm of distrust is to cultivate the relationship relevantly in a personalized fashion. And the more that you do that and show them that you know them and show them that you care about them, not puffing out your chest saying how great your organization is and why they should be enamored by that. No, show them how great they can be and show them that you recognize how great they are and can be. Show them that you've listened. And the more you do that, the more they will like you and the more they will reciprocate and show appreciation for the fact that you kept track of all those details and were good stewards of it, because you took the information and you took care in how you communicated with them over a long period of time. And trust is built over a long period of time.
Don't ask for marriage once you meet them.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a dating process going on.
You have to date your donor, so to speak.
Date your donor. And most of that, for most of your donors, can now be done through technology and done right. And then the ones that engage the most and that begin to lean in and lean forward are the ones that are showing, because they're engaging frequently and recency, remember, don't forget recency.
It's huge.
But those are the ones that will be most likely to accept your call for outreach. They are the most qualified of prospects. They're ready. Those are the ones you call. So if you want to figure out who is the one person I should call today, you should know if you're using our system.
Because we make that all right in your face with our dashboard, recency and the verbatims and digital body language.
So, I was in this podcast with because I get all fired up.
Build your caseload with the right people.
Yeah.
And
engage them, provide value to them, make them feel good over long periods of time, monitor their engagements to understand when the timing is right for outreach. Then you'll be able to reach out to them when the time is right, and you'll win. Leverage technology. Darn it. You got that?
Got that.
All right.
Leverage technology.
Bye.
You'll win. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Engagement Fundraising. If you like the show, make sure to review it on iTunes and pass it along to a colleague. If you're curious about what we do, make sure to check out iMarketSmart.com and download the ultimate how-to guide for conducting nonprofit donor surveys found at iMarketSmart.com/survey report. That's www.iMarketSmart.com/survey report. We'll be back next Thursday for another episode of Engagement Fundraising. Thanks for listening.